What's up, everyone? My name is Sara Delansig. Thanks so much for joining me for this holiday themed session on follow-up techniques. I'm just going to jump right in and share my screen and tell you guys what's going on. So here we go. Okay, so I made this because I obviously have a lot to do with follow-up, owning an ISA company, a boutique ISA company for realtors. And so I wanted to share with you all exactly what I do, but before we get into that, let's give you some kind of background. As I mentioned, I'm the owner and CEO of the Inside Sales Agency. We are a boutique ISA company located in Washington State, but we make calls for agents all across the country of the United States. And I am also a real estate agent with eXp Realty. Let me know if you want to learn about that. I was a speaker as voted on by my peers. Thank you very much. For the eXp Shareholders Summit in 2023 in Orlando, which was a lot of fun. And we talked about how to rewire your habits to boost your sales. And I have also, formerly, I was an ISA team leader and trainer of about maybe like 10 ISAs in inside and outside sales. And then I got my license about two and a half years ago and ended up being a real estate assistant for a bit. Didn't really find a whole lot of joy in selling real estate. And I also have a BA in psychology from UW. Go Dogs. All right. So a lot of real estate agents check out during the holiday season. And this is a real problem. And that's why I'm doing this too. So last year, like honestly, half of the agents that I know just were like, you know what, I'm gone for the holidays. And I don't know if they had automations going or if they just shut everything down, but I feel like then they had a little bit harder time getting, revving back up when spring came along. So the holiday season is the absolute best time to follow up with your database. And that's because it's a great excuse to check in. Hey, happy holidays. How's this going? How's business? How's life? How are the kids? Things like that, right? So nobody is going to bat an eye if you call them out of the blue to say happy holidays, right? So we all have people in our database that are have moved out of state or not local. So it's a really good excuse to stay in touch with them. And if you were able to, and you could do it in person, having like client appreciation events, small business spotlights, things like that. If you do it face to face, it's going to leave a lasting impression, and you're probably going to end up getting more referrals. And there's ways that you could do that. I'm going to focus mostly on the digital and virtual stuff right now, because this is broadcast nationally. So let's go over that. Okay, so here's where I would ask you, what do you think these are if I was on a live call, which I will be later today. But since this is a recorded one, I'm just going to pop these in here. So the first one is holiday e-cards. I just did a whole training for renewing, and it was about not using paper and how to use greetingcards.com and things like that to send e-cards instead of using paper, right? Like going green, right? So there's lots of training and stuff out there about that. So you can find those, and I would highly recommend it because I do get a lot of the paper stuff from realtors, and usually, 9 times out of 10, there's a lot of glossy paper in there, and it goes into the recycling. Another way that you can digitally follow up with people is a list of holiday events. So I keep, you can find this anywhere online, but I keep track of it with like the city of Auburn where I live. I find out what events they have going on. My son goes to school around here, so he has like certain events at the school that I can mention. So you can always put together a little calendar with all the events that are happening and send that digitally. Recipe book. This is also a really good one. Recipes are the number one thing that people watch online and look up. So if you have ideas for recipes, or if you have a great recipe and you want to share it, or if you just want to pop one in there that you found online and think it's great, or if you want to try it, make a video about it, that'd be cool too. I would highly recommend video on all of these. Newsletter. You could do a virtual newsletter, a digital newsletter. Those are all really cool ideas as well. Home decor tips. I saw someone was doing like how to make ornaments. That's a really good one too. You can send market reports. These are going to be more of your typical ones, like your buyer's guides, and just kind of holiday theme it, your seller's guide. Year-end tax tips, that one isn't super flashy, but educating people digitally is actually a really good way to continue to follow up and nurture them and get them to know, like, and trust you. So update your automations to be holiday themed. And when I say holiday themed, it's all inclusive. It's not Merry Christmas. I say Happy Holidays and things like that. So I'm going to show you kind of an example of how I do that. And here we go. So this is one of my text templates. I actually have a course on this, on how to follow up and get in the right mindset, get in the right environment, and all of how often I call, what I say when I call, all that kind of stuff. So at the end of this, there will be a link to that with a promo code. So if you want to check it out, go for it. Here is an example of a text that I would send if I'm calling for myself as a realtor. Hi, Shirley, or sorry, a text. I send this text after I leave a voicemail because 9 times out of 10, they don't answer the phone. So I say, hi, Shirley. This is going to be more of a Thanksgiving thing too. My name is Sara Delansig. I'm a realtor with eXp Realty in Seattle. I'm actually in Auburn, but Seattle is most recognizable, so I just say that. Thanks for requesting your home estimate. I'm on it. You should see it in your email shortly. Just curious, what prompted you to request this info? Are you thinking of selling? And then I say happy Thanksgiving, and then I have a turkey tips for your Thanksgiving feast. Click here. That's not actually what that video is, but it's an example. And if it really was that video, then the awesome thing is that that video would pop up with a thumbnail preview, and it would show my face cooking a turkey or something like that, whatever the thumbnail preview is that I use for that YouTube video. And people are very comfortable clicking YouTube links, especially when they get them on their iPhones and things like that. They feel like it's a secure method of a link that they're okay to click on. So that was the Thanksgiving one. This is going to be the one for your like holiday, like after Thanksgiving, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, that kind of thing. And so I use a snowflake. You could use a snowman. There's different ways that you could do this, right? There's all kinds of holiday emojis. And I say use these, with caution, depending on your market. Some areas are more emoji friendly, some are not. So you know your market better than I do. So just know what works and what doesn't. I would say if it's an older demographic, more retired second home type area or vacation home, maybe not so many emojis, like maybe just straightforward. But this is another example. So you could take a screenshot of this and fill in the blank, right? And start using it yourself if you're sending out these home value add. And you could also change it from home estimate to home valuation, or home value report. It depends on the state that you're in, on the wording that you can use. So as far as I heard, Texas is a little weird. But you could do this for any kind of follow-up. So this is just an example of one of the ones that I use the most for Facebook ads. Click here, get your home's value, that kind of thing. So that's it. And then I put happy holidays with, instead of a Christmas tree, just to be, like I said, neutral, I put this present in here, and then insert the title of a video and insert the link, or insert holiday events coming up and then a link to the calendar or something like that. So you could do that too. All right. So this method that I'm teaching is a method that I came up with, and it's basically you provide value with every single contact attempt. So every time I call, like I said, only 9 times or 1 time out of 10, people really pick up the phone. So I'm leaving, custom voicemails that aren't the same. And then I'm also sending a text message just like the ones you saw every time after I call. And I continue to call. I don't just call once, right? So these are things that you can start implementing. And like I said, I have a course for this. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. So here's some other ideas, holiday event schedule, letters to Santa template. You could put that in there. That one's not so neutral, but it's an idea. It's up to you in your area what you want to use. Recipe ideas, pictures with Santa, Christmas movie night, small business spotlight. So I'm just throwing these ones in here. These are really popular ideas and things that people do. And you know, it's not offensive. People can come or they cannot come to these events if you want. The 7 effective follow-up techniques, I put this in here because I think it's really, really important. No matter what you do as far as follow-up, you need to make sure you make time for it. You need to know what you're good at and where you provide value. One of the things I was thinking about yesterday is like, if you're going to go buy like a Red Bull, you can buy a Red Bull from a 7-Eleven, a Safeway, an Albertson. You can buy it from a Target, anywhere, right? It doesn't really matter where you buy it from because you just want the Red Bull. So with being a real estate agent, you are the commodity. Like, people will go out of their way to work with you. So make sure that you are knowing who you are and representing that well in video, in your text and all of that, so that people can connect with you and want to work with you. So that's kind of a little side note too. Provide value, we already went over that. Use video as much as possible, evergreen video, like make videos about your community that you can send to just anyone. You know, like, what's it like to live in Seattle? What's it like to live in this neighborhood in Seattle? You know, what are the best parks in Seattle? There's so many different things that you could do. So keep that in mind. Be a problem solver. You know, I want to say, like, be a problem solver, but don't do it at the expense of your family and your time and your health and all of that stuff. So be a problem solver, help people out, have their best interests at heart, find ways to relate to them, and follow through on what you're going to do. Don't just make one call. Don't be that statistic that I hear about real estate agents. All right, so that is it. Here you are. That's my promo code. Go ahead and scan that. You can find me in my Facebook group, The Future of Follow-Up for Real Estate. I hope you go find me in there. I share all these tips and everything, all the recordings of this stuff too. And you obviously can find me on YouTube as well. So hope to see you guys there. Thanks so much. Reach out. Let me know what you thought. Bye.